Hello, I'm Jeff Mueller, Computer Art Man, and what I'd like to do through this DVD is discuss my social media multimedia series that I've produced, and then also go into a little bit of detail about the painting that you'll see at the New York Group Show, Fresh Market Decisions. But first I'd like to talk about the social media multimedia project and the wholeness of the project. When I first conceived the project, it was very difficult to express myself as far as what I was trying to accomplish. But from the moment that it was conceived, I knew what I wanted to do, and I knew the completeness of the project and how the project would mirror the virtual world with the real world in all aspects of it, from production to the actual conceptual to the promoting and also the producing of the artwork and the subject matter. They all mirror each other in the computer and the real world. And when that idea hit me, I knew it was an idea that was a little bit visionary. And also, what excited me so much was the fact that although in today's art community there's a lot of digital media being used, but the fact that as a whole and how the concept mirrors the real and computer worlds or the virtual worlds, that's what made this project special. So first off, the first painting that I did in the series was called Dinner at a Grill. I was with my wife. We were at the Macaroni Grill, and I had just gotten my HD flip camera, Kodak, that we're using to shoot this DVD. And I was taking pictures, and I was all excited that I had it. And all of a sudden, I saw this composition that unfolded to me, and I thought, wow, that would be great. I'm video recording, and this is to record the moment of conception in my mind, and then I could take a bunch of pictures, bring it back, and work on a process because of the fact that in my former years, and in my computer art years, and then before that I was an airbrush artist and also an acrylic painter, and then I went into the computer. I was able to use all my skills for this project. So I snapped the pictures, brought them back, brought them into my Macintosh, and then I started mixing a couple of the pictures for a little bit better composition. The chef in one picture was a little bit better than the chef in another picture, and at that point I was able to grab and use my retouching skills to make the composition the way I wanted. The reason why I enjoy the HD camera photos is because of the fact that they're a little bit grainy, not a lot of detail, they're more of an outline, and that's what I was looking for creating my artwork. So what I do is bring them into Photoshop. I've worked in Photoshop since 1992, and mix and match pictures, put together, make the composition perfect the way I want it, and then I had the idea that I would paint over the top of it in Photoshop using the brushes. Now with this first painting, Photoshop was the brushes were limited, but by the time I finished Underwater Adventure, the 10th painting in the series, they had updated Photoshop, and they were as if updating Photoshop for me because of the fact that brushes were so much better. It was kind of really a cool thing I was excited about. But I paint over the top of it using about 5% of the original photograph and 95% painting. Then what I do is once I'm finished painting over the top of it, and I've got it where I run it through a couple painting filters to see if some of the painting filters in Photoshop will add a little bit more brush texture or something in an area. And I use about 5 to 10% of the Photoshop filters are used into the painting. Now, once I'm finished with that, I go and I get them reproduced. Now, I'm going to get into a little bit about the the way I produced my artwork as far as prints and original artwork. But out of the 10 prints, out of the 10 paintings, I printed 10 30 by 60s. Now, the 30 by 60s are the originals, and from that point, I then take acrylics and paint over the top of those, making them unique originals because of the fact that from that point on, that's the only 30 by 60 that I'll print out and paint over the top of it. I will produce 5 20 by 40 digital canvases signed by me as a limited edition, and then I will produce also 200 20 by 40 unsigned limited edition canvases. Now that's how the project, that's how I'm printing out the project. Now, once I'm finished with that, the whole project still has a long way to go. What I did is, me and Xavier here, Xavier is my cameraman.
Greetings, everyone.
He and I have been video blogging probably since May or June. I think it was around May, right? Correct?
Yeah, you know, if not earlier, it might have been late March or early April, because there was still some cold weather when we were doing that.
Right, and we've done 28 video blogs on digital artwork, social media, promoting other artists, and updating everybody on my projects, because as I was going along, I wanted to document it. So on my website, I have the whole documentation from finishing up the digital paintings to producing the digital paintings to painting on the digital paintings. Everything's been documented through there. So what I try to do then is I'm also promoting myself through social media. I've been working hard, Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, and a couple other places that I go to promote my website. I've been learning about all the different clubs I can join locally. I've been meeting some amazing artists and also other people in the art industry. And I've just been promoting myself and others and this project, and I've been working really hard at it. So the other aspect of it, and right now, the New York Group Show, which you would, if you're going to see this video or this DVD, you'll know that this is part of the whole process of the actual painting and the social media series, but the promoting and networking and talking to the people, because the subject matter that I chose for the series is people networking and talking and going out in public, and then I'm using social media to network and talk about the paintings, and then it's a culmination of shows, hopefully this particular group show, and then maybe a gallery show, and it's being documented the whole time, and it's all part of the project. Now,
that's amazing. Sorry to steal your thunder, but basically, and for those of you who have seen the blogs, this is a little bit of rehash, but for those of you who haven't, what makes this concept so unique, besides Jeff's immense talent, is the social media series, to net out what Jeff said. It is the subject, and the mechanism by which the subject is captured, produced, and promoted are intrinsic to the subject itself. It's amazing, going from the real world with the photo into the virtual world, creating it on his computer, and then, or should I say, preparing it on his computer before he prints it out to, you know, put it to the canvas and apply his acrylic skills. But also the mechanism by which he's learning how to promote it, promoting it as he is now, and as you'll see later on, a method by which the artwork can be procured by any prospective buyers. Correct, and the whole idea is to be doing it in, like, once again, in the mirror of both worlds. So the final steps as we're approaching is now the New York Group Show. That is social networking, and I intend to do a painting of and be able to get people networking at the show itself. So the show of the painting and other people, it will eventually be
a part of the series. It will actually absorb itself back in through the same process. It'll be happening in the real world, captured into the digital world, printed out back into the physical world, painted on, then promoted through social media, and then hopefully a culmination of the whole series.